They're gonna do some bullshit, and then they're gonna ask us for a bunch of money at the end of it, and they're gonna try to play on our heartstrings, tug our heartstrings. They're gonna try to get a bunch of money out of us, right? I'm like, all right, whatever. I turn around, they're standing on two rows, people on both sides, right? So I'm like, let me go in here and say what's up to everybody. So I start running down like I'm at the fucking Rose Bowl. I got both my hands out. I'm just slapping hands with people down the row. And my wife was like, "Why'd you do that?" I was like, "I don't know. That's how I was feeling." And she was like, "No, you're supposed to go and shake everybody's hand one by one." Nobody told me that. Nobody told me that. So they just got you know, the starting lineup. They got that whole intro from me, right? So that's how I came through. Anyway, we go into this hut. We get into the hut. I look over to the right, and I'm like, all right, cool, cool. There's a bunch of cats sitting, just a bunch of kids and stuff, and they're running around naked and whatnot. I'm like, all right, they're doing their thing. I look over to my left, and there's the chief and the dudes that were on the bus with us, and they're all talking it out. I'm sure they hashing up some kind of plan for how much money they can get out of us and the best way to do it, right? Because once again, I don't trust anybody, right? So I look over and they start passing around various items. They're passing around bowls. They're passing around motherfucking what do you call them? Like rugs and shit like that, right? Like towels and stuff. And it's all supposed to be hand sewn. And the reason it got its color is because they dip it in this type of dye that's made from this plant. And da. In my mind, I'm like, all right, sounds cool, sounds like bullshit. So I'm looking at all the pieces and I'm like, all right, this is nice, this is nice. All right, cool. I pass it on. And everybody else is like, ooh, I gotta buy one of these. I'm like, oh, suck ass. So anyway, everybody's talking about how they gonna buy all this stuff, and I'm not with it. So then they start doing their local dances, their indigenous dances, the crab dance and the sun dance and whatever, right? So they start dancing in a circle, and they came. Some dude grabbed my wife's hand, some girl grabbed my hand, and now we holding hands, running around in a circle with them, and I'm like, all right, this is cool. You got us out of our seat. We feel involved now. And then later on, you're gonna try to be like, yeah, you feel involved. Good. You feel like one of us. Cool. Well, if you feel like one of us, you should feel poor because we are very poor people and we need your money, right? And I'm like, you're not gonna get me, not today. So the dancing stops. Everything's cool, and we move over to another tent, another hut. And I'm like, yeah. They got a bunch of stuff. The whole time we were doing all that dancing and shit, motherfuckers was setting up shop. And we walk into that hut, everybody got all their wares set up. And they're like, oh yeah, this is this and this is that. And, I'm like, look, I'm chilling in the cut. I told my wife, I'm chilling over here. I'm doing my thing. You go, you want to look around, you want to do whatever, that's cool. But I'm not coming out of pocket. I ain't paying for not a damn thing that's in here, not a damn nothing, right? So she's like, oh yeah, I saw this, I saw that. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get online and I'm gonna find this stuff on Amazon or Walmart.com. I don't know. I'll find it online. Trust me. I'll find it for at most half price, and we'll just get it shipped to the house. Because I'm looking at all these things and I'm like, it's too perfect. Nature doesn't make perfect lines. So there's no way that they made all this shit from hand. That's bullshit, right? So anyway, I'm like, all right, I don't trust any of this shit. And I'm looking at the hut itself. They got all these big ass, excuse me, big ass poles and stuff that are clearly man made. Excuse me. Oh shit, Corona. And I'm like, nah, I can't fuck with this. So we get to leaving out of there. I'm walking out. I'm like, I don't trust this shit. I don't even want to be in here. So I walk out and I look over to the left and there's this cat standing behind a building. And he's got his hat turned back. He wearing like a brand new Messi jersey and shit. And I know they'll make brand new Messi jerseys in the middle of the motherfucking Amazon. So I'm like, hold on. And he's smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, I make eye contact with him. He makes eye contact with me. And I'm like, I see you, G. You know, game recognized game. You out here hustling. You know, I used to hang with people that did the same. You know, it is what it is. It's cool. It's cool. You're not gonna get me. You can get them. You're not gonna get me. So he's looking at me, and then I look up, and I said, "Get the fuck!" I look up there. There's a damn satellite dish up there, and I know the satellite dish is not made out of motherfucking coconuts and sugar cane, and even if it was made out of that, it's not built to communicate with satellites in space and shoot down the latest, you know, Barcelona game or whatever the fuck is going on, whatever games they watch, you know. And I'm like, hey, yeah, that's what I thought. I knew this was some fucking bullshit. So I'm chilling. Eventually, the wife comes out. We end up getting in the car or in the boat, and we float back. And after that, you know, it was what it was. The point of that whole story was when we were on that damn bus, we made a stop at some intersection. And I looked over and I looked into a damn driveway. And I saw a dog. And I said, wow, I like that dog. My wife, being the sweet person that she is, was like, you like that dog? I said, yeah. I like that dog became, I need that dog. I need that dog became, I got to have that dog ASAP. T.I. Right? So, next thing I know, I come back to the States. And she's like, hey, I saw all these pictures for these dogs. You should look at them. And I was like, I don't want to look at dogs. And eventually it's like, oh, did you see this one? You see it's got this one floppy ear and one ear that stands up. I'm like, that's cool. He's going to make somebody real happy one day. Not me. And she's like, oh. So eventually she broke me down. And my ass ended up going to the pound. And we went to the pound. I resisted. I was like, yeah, look at all these dogs. All right, cool. Yeah, I saw that one too. That was a cute one too. Okay, cool. Good. You got it out your system. Let's get the fuck out of here. Then eventually it was like, there's a sale going on at the same pound we were at. Free dogs. Now, I'm not going to lie. I know the kind of person I am. If it's free, you know, I'll take a look into it. That might be an option, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. We got free dogs now. I don't want to pay for these fucking dogs. But now you hitting my sweet spot. You talking about free dogs? I might fuck with a free dog. All right, what we got? So we get in there. And I'm looking at all these, you know, junkyard dogs. Been doing push-ups, you know, and pull-ups and shit. And stabbing each other in the shower. You know, like just straight prison dogs, right? And I'm like, oh shit, I want no parts of that. Like I don't want to have to be, you know, ducking and dodging, you know, sleeping with some shit under my pillow every night because I don't know what this dog's up to, you know. And you know, he been plotting this whole time and be like, hey, I see that TV, I know I can get a grip for that, you know. I don't know, what these dogs are up to, you know. Yeah, they had a rough life, so you know, you don't know what the angle is. So I'm like, shit. All right, well, let me, we go over to the puppy side, and there's a dog. I'm looking at him, and I'm like, damn. So, you know, RIP to my dad. We had a dog back in the day. His name was Shaft. So I kept the legacy going, and I was like, this dog's name is going to be Shaft. We got to keep this movement. And so my dog's name is Shaft. I think I said that already, but whatever. And so, yeah, we ended up getting Shaft. And Shaft's in here. Everything's good. And which that's the second rollback. I'm on some Quentin Tarantino shit today. Like my story started in the middle. It's gonna go forward and it's gonna go back, forward, back. Anyway. So coming back. So now I got a dog, right? And I love him. I love this dog now. He finally got in. It took a while because I was like, I don't even know if I really want your ass. But he's made his way in. He's found a home, in my heart, and I love this dog now. So moving beyond that, I talked about dog ownership in the beginning, and motherfucking dog ownership or pet ownership as a whole. I'm very confused as to why we get these pets, right? And I'm gonna just walk you through the whole step of why whenever my dog wants to do something and live his life, I'm like, yo, get it, do you? I'm all about it. Cause in my mind, I'm like, all right, so you get a dog. Dog comes home. Obviously, he's shell shocked. Motherfucker came home from the pound where he hears nothing but "Arr, arr, arr," all day, all night. He ain't right in the head. He's not right. He's got problems. So he comes home and he does what he knows. He's barking his ass off. And so what's the first thing we do? Shut the fuck up. And he's like, hey, I don't speak English. And it's like, I know, but shut the fuck up. He's like, well, the only way I know how to convey what I'm thinking or how I feel is through barking. And you're like, yeah, I get that. Shut the fuck up. And if I got to get a shot caller or whatever the fuck to get you to stop from yelling, I'll do it. He's like, all right, cool. So I can't talk. He's like, all right, well, can I go outside and at least hang out with other dogs? No. Other dogs got diseases. They got all kind of problems. You don't want them to fuck you up. So I'm going to need your ass to stay inside. He's like, okay, I can't talk. I got to stay inside. All right. Well, shit, can I fuck something at least? And you're like, no, because we took your balls off. And now your hormones are fucked up. And now you don't want to fuck anything. Anyway, and as a whole, you might get a little something here and there, but for the most part, you don't want to fuck like you should. Because that works out better for me. I don't want you out there fucking everything, barking, and just running wild. So I look at it as if I got kidnapped, or fuck it, if I was an orphan, and you pulled me from the orphanage and was like, you can live here, and you better be appreciative of the fact that I fucking feed you. But you got to stay under my rules, and those rules are, I'm going to cut out your tongue, so you shut the fuck up. You're going to stay in this house all day, every day. You might go outside, but you need to stay inside the fence line. And you're not going to fuck anything. I'm like, why am I living? Like, this is hell. You've already put me in a living hell. So, anyway, unless I'm trying to, I'm trying to get a dog to protect my drugs, or I need a dog to go out there and help me hunt something, there's no real point. There's no real point in having an animal. At this point, I love him and he loves me. So, we're going to keep this thing going. But, just the overall thing, I got to give him the great things in life because of that. So if I catch him fucking somebody, I'm not going to break it up. I'm going to just be like, fuck him. Just get it in, because your life is rough. You eat what I tell you. You go outside when I tell you. At least get your rocks off, right? But that's just me. Like I said, that's just me. That's how I look at it. So if you live your life another way and you feel that what I said is fucked up, hey, PM me. I'm known for saying things and having a very strong personality. So if you feel a certain way, get at me. Anyway, that's just my fear. That was a long road to get to a short point. But anyway, the last thing I'm gonna say on this whole topic is I want to end this with something inspirational, and that's take care of each other. And the reason I say that is none of us asked to be here, right? So the choices we make in life is I don't judge anybody. I just feel a certain way, right? So you live your life, I live my life, but none of us asked to be here. So there's no reason to make life harder on another person. So let's try to love each other, help each other every chance we get, and let's make life better for everybody else who didn't ask to be here. Anyway, that's me. I'm signing off and I'm gone.